Our vision is to democratize aquatic data collection. And what that really means is getting access to intelligence. If you make a product that customers don't enjoy using, they will not use it. So the user experience is incredibly important to us.
I'm Celia Cano, and I'm here with Marine Technology TV at Oceanology International here in London. And I'm here today with Ian Owen, CEO and co-founder of Jaia Robotics. Thanks for being here today.
Hi, Celia. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Amazing. What a great day. Great show.
Good show so far?
Yeah,
Day
awesome.
one? Awesome. So I want to talk a little bit about Jaia Robotics, and I want to start at the beginning. What was the inspiration behind founding the company?
So we're very much a vision, mission-based company. Our vision is to democratize aquatic data collection. And what that really means is getting access to intelligence. Successful intelligence is what we're there to do. How do we do that? And that really ties back to our mission. We want to create the ultimate customer experience that has simplicity at the core of everything that we do in providing data visualization and data collection tools. And that's how we designed the JaiaBot, with that front and center on every part of the design, the MVP characteristics that we started. And I spent a few years at Sonos, the speaker company, and that taught me how important customer experience is. If you make a product that customers don't enjoy using, they will not use it.
Absolutely.
So the user experience is incredibly important to us.
Yeah, so speaking of your customers, who are your customers and what sectors primarily are they in?
So we're very, very fortunate to have seen a lot of growth in the last couple of years. And our customers, as it currently stands, are US Marine Corps, US Army Corps of Engineers, US Navy, USGS. We've got a fantastically interesting small business innovation research grant, phase 2 with NOAA, to drop JaiaBots out of a hurricane hunter at 10,000 feet, collecting 10,000 foot of atmospherics. And then in the ocean, they come out of the sonobuoy tube and they cycle up and down through the upper ocean mixing layer, sending that data back to the National Weather Service to create better weather models.
That's awesome.
And then internationally, we're in Australia with the Australian Army, in France with the French combat divers, and in the Netherlands with the police and the Netherlands Marines.
Fantastic. So you're everywhere.
It seems like that.
Yeah.
And then we've got a whole host of academic institutions that have procured JaiaBots for both research and for educational purposes. And then a number of different commercial organizations that are working with Jaia to add payloads or to add capabilities through our open source software and very modular design that we have.
Fantastic. So what are you showing off this week at Oceanology?
So this is our JaiaBot Hydro. It's the platform, and I can describe what we mean by a platform. It's something that is very, very modular in design. It's something that can be extensible. It can add payloads very easily. It could be a payload that's a sensor, and it's almost built like Legos, where things twist apart and open up. We can put mid-bodies or sections that can add payloads. That could be an ISR payload. It could be an acoustic payload. It could be all sorts of different payloads. Let's leave it at that. And our software is 100% open source. So when we started Jaia, people thought, you guys are nuts. Nobody's going to want to have, especially the DoD, an open source product. And in fact, the opposite has been true. We've got customers in the DoD that are designing their own modules to fit in the vehicle and integrating their own software, whether that's command and control software or whether that's software that's running the sensors and the payloads that they're adding to them.
Fantastic. Well, looking at kind of the market generally, especially since you guys are active in defense and given the geopolitical atmosphere we're currently in, how has Jaia grown or changed recently to kind of adapt to what customer needs are?
So we've definitely pivoted in the last 12 months or so to focus more on the defense. We had a lot of traction with the USGS and NOAA. I think it's quite It's quite well known, right, that those organizations have suffered some setbacks in research dollars, etc. So that pivot to defense, and because we're a small business, because the product is truly a dual-use product, it's been a very easy pivot. Working with the Marine Corps, with the US Army, to do a number of critical operations, especially to do with littoral warfare and crossing rivers, etc. It's been a very natural transition for us.
Well, it's great to hear. Glad that it hasn't been too off-putting.
No, it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been a very exciting year, and 2026 and 27 are ramping up to be the inflection point for Jaia as we go to scale. And we're working with a contract manufacturer to not just build 20 to 30 a month in our shop, which we can do right now, but go to have a capacity of 100 plus a month.
So I want to dive a little bit deeper into what you guys are actually doing. Can you talk about the Marine Corps and what problem are you trying to solve there?
So littoral maneuver and amphibious operations are becoming ever increasingly more important. When you look at the Indo-PACOM environment, there are 20,000 plus islands, and the mapping and the availability of data that would allow littoral maneuver and amphibious landings on those islands is very scant. It's very sketchy. The way that the Marines and indeed the Army do this today is 24 recon Marines jump off a big ship into a rubber boat. The rubber boat transits quite a long way, 2 miles out. The Marines get out, they swim, and they go into the surf zone, and they spend 8 hours characterizing the conditions in the surf zone. They write the data down on a diver's tablet. They swim back 2 miles, jump in the rubber boat, go back to the ship, take the information off a diver's plate, put it into a computer, and provide bathymetry data, bottom type data, wave height data, and what are the current vectors in the surf zone. And the wave height data and the current vectors in the surf zone, that's dynamic. That can change hourly. JaiaBots, 8 of these, can do in 30 minutes to 1 hour a complete characterization of the surf zone. And then they can sit there providing real-time data back to the user that gives you continuous updates. This is the wave height. This is the swell direction. These are the current vectors. So it's incredibly important that for the ACVs that are bringing Marines to shore, they understand that the conditions are safe for them to do that. Another example is wet gap crossing. So if I'm going to cross a river, I'm going to build a bridge and I'm going to drive something across it. I need to know how deep is that river. I need to know what the bottom type is. I need to know how strong the current is. The way that this is done currently is that a giant truck comes up with 2 Zodiacs on the back. The Zodiacs get craned onto the shore. They get dragged into the water, 4 people in each boat. They go across the river, measure in the depth, come back in a boat. That's a 2-hour evolution. We were in South Korea with the 2nd Infantry Division of the US Army, the 8th Army. We did the same operation with 3 JaiaBots in 10 minutes. And we didn't throw a Gatorade bottle in the water to measure how fast the current was going. We used scientific instruments to get accurate data across the complete width of the river. So to me, it's a kind of no-brainer, right? You're saving lives by not having people in the water, and you're providing accessible intelligence at the speed of need in real time. And we've had congressional support to move that into a procurement with the Marine Corps as we move into 2026.